Miss Letitia James is in the news again. But before we get too far into it, let's just take a step back into the past.
Please sue him for us.
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the
We need to focus on Donald Trump and his abuses. We need to follow his money. We need to find out where he's laundered money. All of those transactions have happened here in New York City. Tell this president and every other individual that no one is above the law.
I say the bottom line is that residents from Brooklyn who are going to really make the difference are energized. Individuals from the city are energized. Individuals who care about statewide issues are energized. Individuals who care about, again, going after Donald Trump, this illegitimate governor president.
Miss Letitia James, Attorney General, went after Donald Trump hard while he was running for president, mind you. And we all know how that turned out. So this is a woman who really likes prosecuting people who she feels are guilty of breaking the law. You would think she wouldn't, break the law herself. Well, check this out, because that chicken's come home to roost.
And now the Trump Justice Department may be a pain in her you-know-what. The Angle has obtained shocking allegations leveled by the Trump administration against New York Attorney General Letitia James. The Federal Housing Finance Agency has sent a criminal referral to the DOJ accusing James of mortgage fraud. In a letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi, Director Bill Pulte says James appears to have falsified records in order to meet certain lending requirements and receive favorable loan terms. He cited a property in Virginia that she's allegedly claimed as her principal residence and a property in New York that she claimed as a 4-unit structure instead of the required, instead of a 5, which Pulte says means she was able to get a different type and more favorable loan. Joining me now is Jonathan Turley, Fox News contributor and law professor at GW University. Jonathan, mortgage fraud is rampant in the United States. There's all sorts of fraud that's rampant. There's disability fraud that they've vowed to crack down on in the Trump administration. But this is another thing that they have vowed to crack down on because it costs real money. Your reaction to these allegations?
Well, obviously, the irony is perfectly crushing. This is a person who prosecuted Trump for everything short of ripping a label off a mattress. And among the charges that were brought in New York, in not just the civil but the criminal case, was making false or misleading statements to financial institutions. And one of these sections, Section 1014 of the federal code, is prosecuted. It took me about 60 seconds of a search to find cases that the Department of Justice brought against people who falsely claimed that property was their principal residence in order to get loans. So this is well-tread areas for the Justice Department. As for James, if we apply the Letitia James standard that she created, there'd be little question here. This seems pretty straightforward. What the administration is saying is this was not her principal residence. In fact, as a New York elected official, she had to say that her principal residence was in New York. This was an out-of-state residence. But also, they claim that in some of these forms, she actually states that her father is her husband in order to file as a married couple. So there's a lot of those questions. And as you know, the Supreme Court just stated earlier in March in a case called Thompson that they want to see knowing false statements under sections like 1014, not just misleading statements. These are misleading statements. Either it's your principal residence or it's not.
Or it's not.
Either you're married to your father or he's your father. So they can this can satisfy the Thompson standard.
So now we know in some detail what Letitia James has done. Not just what she's accused of doing, but we know what she's done. I mean, she filled out a credit application. She did it. It's not theoretical. She did it. She filled out a credit application, lied on said credit application, and at a minimum said that her father was her husband so she could get preferential loan treatment. I mean, she's either guilty of breaking a law or she's sick, or Letitia James is a combination of the two. Absolutely unbelievable. And the question is, okay, so what is Letitia James going to do about it? Well, you don't have to wait long because that's the next clip. And it's more the same. Letitia James is going to countersue, going after Donald Trump and other people, all the while saying that the society is built on laws and we have to abide by the laws and equal justice under the law, while she goes about breaking the law. Letitia James is an unbelievably blatant hypocrite. Check it out.
So I've got to rush back to the office because you know that there's nothing more close to my heart than a lawsuit. And so you tell Donald Trump the lawsuit's coming. It's just a matter of hours. It's coming. Our nation, as imperfect as it is, was brought into the modern world, the very concept of equality under the law. We were founded as a nation of laws, where each and every citizen would be protected by the law, but also would be subject to it, and that includes the President of the United States. And I, and a coalition of attorneys general, 23 of us strong all across this nation, we've been working to fight and defend America's rights from the onslaught by the Trump administration, to oppose the manipulation and the reinterpretation of our laws and our Constitution, and we have been winning. We filed legal actions, lawsuits, briefs to combat President Trump's illegal efforts, winning temporary restraining orders, preliminary injunctions, one after one after one, because we were ready. We anticipated this. And each and every day he files an illegal executive order, we strike back. My mission is clear. I'm focused. I'm prepared. I'm ready. I've been trained by the best. I went to Howard University that overturned legal segregation in this country. I've been taught in those classrooms where Thurgood Marshall once taught. I'm not afraid of no president. Donald Trump, we're ready for you. We're coming for you. We're standing up for you. We're fighting on. We're not going down silent. Victory, my friends, is clear. It's now. And I'm not waiting 4 years. I'm waiting 2 until a speaker by the name of Hakeem Jeffries comes to bring us some rest. Come on, ladies. It's up to us. We saved this democracy before. We'll save it now. Let's go.
Attorney General Letitia James's mission really hasn't changed at all. She is focused on obstructing the Trump administration, Department of Justice under Pam Bondi, and quite frankly, the will of the majority of the population of the country any way she can. What I thought was interesting is she mentioned 23 other state attorney generals, and I'm sure different federal judges that she's working with to try to obstruct the Trump administration from doing things such as getting these people who are here illegally, dealing in drugs, causing harm, breaking laws, assaulting people, murdering people, etc., out of the country as efficiently as possible. But that really shouldn't come as much of a surprise. What's going to be interesting is to see what happens to Letitia James with regards to what laws she has apparently broken. And remember, this is a woman who is just adamant, just very outspoken about we're a country of laws, equal justice under the laws. Laws have to be applied to everybody. Well, that should include her as well, right? We're going to have to see what happens. There'll be a subsequent video as I get more information. Until then, God bless. Love you all.